Yeah. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Best Friends Talking Sports, or it could be the best freaking talk show ever. I'm Reece, and I'm here with my lovely host, Miss AJ Combs.
Hey, y'all. Hey. You ready to get into this hot basketball action we got on this rainy, cold Wednesday?
Yes, it is a cold, chilly Wednesday, but we do have some hot basketball for you. We got a couple of good games coming up this week. We have two good Wednesday night games coming in. We also have two Friday night games to end the week. We have a good show going for y'all today. We're going to talk about those two games. We're going to also get into the rookie report. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the fantasy. Then we're also going to talk about some of the different playmakers and some of the different teams who are hot right now. So
yeah, that sounds good. Let's go and get into this.
All right. So look, our first game, we got the Houston Rockets versus the New York Knicks. Yeah. It's going to be at 7 p.m. tonight. You can catch all the games that we cover on ESPN or ABC.
Or the ESPN app if you technically challenged.
Or the ESPN app if you're a little challenged, technically challenged.
Mm-hmm.
But we have the Rockets and the Knicks playing. So the Rockets are 5-3.
Yep.
The Knicks are 3-3. Right now, James Harden is averaging 26 a game, also with 9 assists. Chris Paul is a new addition to the Rockets, coming in from the Clippers.
Shout out to CP3 one time.
He did. Chris Paul didn't pick up his option. He's actually hurt right now. He's out with a knee injury.
The knee injury that's going to be is going to be having sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks, correct?
I think so. I think that's the one. And I'm pretty sure, I know that's the one. And so, be it that they're playing, and as of lately, the Rockets have been having a little trouble on defense.
Oh.
And now they're playing the Knicks.
Well, their coach doesn't do defense either.
Yeah, and they're running a good team. You're right. You're right about that.
James Harden ain't never played no defense, a.k.a. the San Antonio game.
Well, you're not going to get back in the past. But check this out. So now, when I was talking about them playing the Knicks, they have to play Kristaps Porzingis,
the
young
unicorn.
Boy, the unicorn. And now Houston, they have allowed 45 points off of 34 giveaways, and they're getting outscored in the paint. Porzingis is a real good mid-range shooter, and he's also 7'3".
True.
So how do you think Houston can contain Porzingis?
I feel like if James Harden and Clint Capella do their job, mostly if Clint Capella does his job. Because Clint Capella, the last time they played, Clint Capella had 9 rebounds and James Harden had 36 points and 11 assists, and Clint Capella had 9 rebounds. So that seems to be like the temperature and the formula that they have that really works for them.
That's right.
Is that if Capella gets more on the boards, then he'll be able to stop the unicorn. I feel like the unicorn is going to do his thing regardless because, he doesn't have Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson's not there. No, is Phil still there? I think Phil's still there.
Phil is not there.
Phil is not there?
Phil left earlier this year. He actually stepped down.
Okay.
Phil stepped down. They also hired a new GM.
I didn't know any of this because, Stephen A. Smith is crazy about the Knicks.
And that's where I got the information from. Shout out my dog, Stephen A. Smith.
I didn't know any of this. I didn't even know that. Just because Stephen A. Smith goes crazy about the Knicks. I didn't even know that he had stepped down. So if he has stepped down, so that means the Knicks are 3-3. Mm-hmm. So I feel like at the end of the day, the unicorn is gonna do it. The unicorn he's gonna do what it needs to be done. I don't feel that. Oh, also, and actually, Enes Kanter. We can't forget about Enes Kanter and Jimmy Hardaway Jr. Jimmy Hardaway Jr. last time he played, Tim Hardaway Jr. My bad. I'm thinking of his daddy. But when they played, he had 21 points. Enes Kanter had 8 rebounds, and Kyle O'Quinn had 4 assists. So you see, if they get the collective going of Hardaway and Enes Kanter in addition to ball to the unicorn, I feel like this will be a very tough match for them. I feel like this could be a very easable win for them because defense is not D'Antoni's strong point, nor is it James Harden. Mm-hmm. But I feel that if the Knicks use their defense ability, which they do, which are there are powerful people in the NBA, I feel like the Knicks will be able to beat the Rockets, and I'm going to go 98-75 Knicks.
98-75 Knicks. I like that. Well, just to go add a little bit more to it, I think Houston will be able to contain Porzingis. Well, I'm sorry, they can contain Porzingis, but I don't think they'll be able to stop him from playing, to stop him from being who he is as a 7'3" shooter. Just like people can't stop Kevin Durant. It's kind of hard to stop somebody who's taller than everybody. They can shoot, but they can
who's all towering over you like you.
And he can handle the ball like a guard. So I think the most that they can do is just try to limit his touches and to keep him from and to make other players around him win. Like you said, if they have to make Enes Kanter win. They have to make Kyle O'Quinn beat them. They have to have other players around them, which the Knicks can't right now because they're still rebuilding. But That's what the Rockets.
But their rebuilding process is looking very good. It's looking prominent with the unicorn. If they can keep the unicorn and get more players to help the unicorn out, I feel like the unicorn, even though he did get his first, he got his first NBA All-Star nod, didn't he? Last year he got his first NBA All-Star.
I would say he did, and
so,
this is in his second year.
So if that's what happened, if they can get the unicorn to have his get him a little piece together, get his pieces together, he'll be doing well. Also, if the Rockets go to the free throw line a lot, that seems to be what their bread and butter is. Is going to the free throw line a lot and shooting more points. They have a higher percentage than the Knicks. The Rockets shoot 80% from the free throw line, but the favorite for the 3-pointer that goes to the Knicks because the Knicks shoot more threes, which is kind of odd because
from last year
because James Harden is more 3-point. He will shoot from the hip at any time. And when they had Patrick Beverly and they were shooting at the hip, and they had Trevor Reece,
Eric Gordon, who won the championship.
Yes, and they still have Patrick Beverly. Not Patrick Beverly. He plays for the Clippers, which we'll get to next. But they also have what's his name? Trevor Reece. Trevor Reece, he also shoots from the 3 as well. So I found that very strange that the Knicks are ahead in 3-pointers. But the slight edge goes to the Knicks as well for field goal attempts as well. They have like a 1 percentage over Houston Rockets with their field goal percentage. So it really could be a tight game. So that's why I chose to score 98-75 because of history of their prior meetings they played, and the Rockets beat them 117-95. That's when they had Melo and the unicorn and everything.
So check this out. I did heard you allude to something. You said that Porzingis, they want to build around Porzingis. So since the departure of Melo, Melo was a big part, and Melo was an intricate part in the New York system for a number of years. Melo was so important that he had a player option to where you couldn't trade. He had a no-trade clause in his contract. Mm-hmm. So with the departure of Melo, how can Porzingis become the man? Like, what do you think he would have to do to elevate his game? Do you think he should add to his mid-range, add his ball handling, be more of a better defender? What do you think he can do?
I feel like Porzingis just needs to keep doing what he's doing because obviously it's working. He got his first NBA All-Star nod even his second year. So obviously he can shoot. Crazy enough, the unicorn got a jumper.
A sick one.
A sick jumper. A sick jumper. And he's not afraid to let it go. He's very confident in his jumper. He's not afraid to shoot the ball when the ball needs to be shot. Yeah. So I feel like if they can just get some key role players for him. Key role players. Like I'm saying, like
Tim Hardaway I think he's going to be good. They invested a lot of money in him, which I don't think they should have. Just based off his prior season, he hasn't been that consistent as a clutch player. He shows up sometimes. He can give you a good 25, 20 night game, but they're not consistent 20, 25 nights. Some nights he'll give you that. Some nights he might not show up. So I think they could have invested that money better in free agency. But the plans I see, as you're saying, is to build around Porzingis. And they also got a young point guard out of France. I can't think of his name right now. I can find it for you right now. But they did get a young point guard out of France who was Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, his name is kind of hard to pronounce. It's a lot of N's and L's and KIT at the end. It's pretty hard to pronounce. But Frank Ntilikina from France, but crazy enough, and people was crazy thinking that Phil was crazy about this, but crazy enough, Frank Ntilikina was balling over there in France and had like 3 or 4. He was going to a championship game. As a young guy, and he couldn't even make the draft because his team played the championship game the next day, I think. So Frank Ntilikina, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he has a great potential to work with and they have Hornbringer as a coach for the Knicks as well too. And Hornbringer was with the Bulls, and he got the Bulls to where they need to be at one point.
That's real. So I got one last question for you for this Houston-New York game. So I know that we were talking about CP3 and how his knee injury. Well, and we were also talking about how he's new to the Rockets. What do you think? Well, what are some of your expectations for CP3 this season? And how do you think he can get the Rockets to where they need to be as far as a championship contender? Because everybody knows that it's the race to beat Golden State. What can you assemble to beat Golden State? So, and to add to my question or to get back to it, what are your expectations for CP3 to help the Rockets get to Can he score more? Do you think he should be
they're going to obviously have to have 2 balls on the court, maybe 3 balls on the court. Because I never really thought that CP3 James Harden thing is going to work. I don't think it's going to work because just the fact that CP3 is a point guard and and James Harden is a point guard, but James Harden runs up the ball a lot. Same does Chris Paul. He runs up the ball a lot as well. But I feel that tandem situation is not going to work. It's not how it is in OKC with the triple double man and Paul George and Carmelo. That works. That's a connecting flow of a system. Just between those two is going to be hard to figure out who's going to take that shot. They have a problem with who's going to take the last shot.
I got it. I feel you. I think, well, more so from my opinion standpoint, the dual guard works if you have one guard who wants to be unselfish. James Harden has been the man, but he's been looking for somebody to give the ball to more. And who else would be better to give the ball to than a point guard? Than the actually
but what about
the
Trevor
best point
Reece?
guard.
So we just gonna forget that Trevor Reece has been sitting over there this whole time, his whole life, got a ring and everything. We just gonna forget that he been over there, that he could be the person that could be that go-to person for him to pass the ball to. Like, are we just forgetting that Trevor Reece puts up numbers?
Nah,
he gets buckets now.
Yeah, it's not. No, we're not forgetting about him. But when you think about ball handlers, Trevor Reece is a small forward. So most small forwards don't really handle the ball unless it's LeBron, Kevin Durant, players who you consider a point forward, so they can play all 5 positions. Trevor Reece is more so of that stretch power forward, so he's going to be shooting more, standing in the corner. He doesn't really dribble a lot, but Chris Paul and James Harden dribble a lot. But James, he said he didn't want to dribble as much.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to need 2 balls. Because somebody got to take the shot.
Somebody, and I think, more so, not even think I know, and I saw a documentary about this too. Chris Paul 3 is called CP3. It's also on the Watch ESPN app. It's a 30 for 30 type of series, and he was just talking about his transition from LA to Houston. But James Harden wanted to shoot the ball more. Some nights he said he wanted Chris Paul to have 40 points and no assists. Some nights he wanted Chris to have 40 and no assists. So that just goes to show what he wants out of him. It looks like he wants more scoring. He doesn't even want Chris Paul to be a point guard, just another.
So how they gonna beat the Warriors if we all about offense? Because our Warriors play offense and defense.
Yeah, so I guess they would need to build on their defense. They may need to.
But how? When you have a coach and you have obviously 3 players who have never played defense in their life.
Well, yeah, I feel you. It's all good.
Never played defense in their life. They didn't even play defense together when James Harden and Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook was all together in Oklahoma. CP3 ain't never played defense, and even when he was in the New Orleans Pelicans, when he played for the New Orleans.
He made all for defense first team last year. He played defense. CP3 plays defense. That's one of the things that makes him so great as a PG, as a point guard, is because he does play consistent defense, and he plays a lot of it. That's one thing I got to say for my boy. He does play. I
don't think CP3 plays defense, and it's been shown on several occasions, several tapes, that this man does not play defense.
So you think he just needs to? So what do you think he can do to help them?
I feel like it's bringing basically what they already have, which is offense, but you need defense. So it feels like it really didn't solve the problem. It's like the Raiders.
So you brought a first team defense point guard to solve defense. That sounds like a good move.
But where did he take the Clippers?
I mean, where did the Clippers take him is the question you have to ask, because it's a game of 5, not a game of 1.
Let me back this up. Let me ask this all over again. Where did he take the Clippers?
So, and then I have to reiterate, it's a game of 5, not a game of 1. So it's not where Chris took the Clippers, it's where the Clippers take the Clippers. It's a team game. You gotta look at it like that. You can't blame.
You're not understanding about what I'm saying. I'm saying is, where did Chris Paul take the Clippers? When Chris Paul had the defense with a coach that has won championships based off of defense, which is what's the coach for the Clippers right now? His name is
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, who plays defense, who is known to be a defensive dude. And if Chris Paul was, which, as you said, the defensive player, he was last year, he was the defensive player.
First team. That's the best defenders in the NBA.
So if Chris Paul was the number 1 defender in the NBA, and the Clippers didn't go nowhere, what makes you think that this is going to be different with a coach who doesn't play defense and a player who's never played defense and a coach who does not run defensive plays?
Okay. So with this team, you're going to have a player with as in LA, Blake Griffin tore his ACL or was injured almost every year. That's your star. That's your star power forward. So that's one player that Chris had to facilitate for. Then when you look at it, the center.
But no, don't forget DeAndre Jordan.
I was about to get.
We had DeAndre Jordan. All he was doing was throwing up dunks and lobs and dunking on people.
But DeAndre Jordan is not a offensive.
He didn't play defense either.
DeAndre Jordan is not an offensive player. He is what you would call a defensive anchor. He's 6'11". Nobody's just gonna go in there on DeAndre Jordan.
That's true. He is 6'11". Nobody's just gonna go in on them. But as I'm saying, Chris Paul has had the defensive has had the defensive keys
but not the offensive talent. So now he has offensive talent, and the defense isn't going to be as hard to adjust because now you have a rim protector in Clint Capella. Harden plays defense when he has to. He's just better. He's just better at offense. His offense is so good that it outshines defense. He plays behind the back defense. He does. He's not a good on ball defender, but he do what he got to do.
I'm guessing you didn't. I'm guessing you didn't watch the last game. I'm guessing that you didn't watch the last game when he played against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm guessing you didn't watch that. Because that whole series was no defense. I don't know what you was watching. Maybe we could have been watching differently. Maybe you saw something differently that I didn't see. But when I watched that series had no defense. That series was just running and gunning. And Pop killed the run and gun. He said, "Oh, you gonna run and gun? Okay, I'm gonna play some defense. You gonna go up there and go get that ball. Oh, you can't go get that ball? Okay, cool. I'm gonna use my old veterans to do what I do."
I feel it. All right, that's a good little take on that one. So now we're going to go to another Texas team, but this Texas team is up top in Dallas. We got the Mavs, who are 1-7. They're playing the Clippers this week. We got a couple of injuries. Josh McRoberts will be out. Seth, not Steph Curry, is going to be out. A couple of stat leaders for the Mavs. You got Harrison Barnes leading with 16 points a game. He's also leading in rebounds, so he's leading points and rebounds. And then you also have the rookie, Dennis Smith Jr., leading in assists. In this game, you know, Patrick Beverley used to play for the Clippers. He used to play for the Rockets, and also he was a big part. He's a big part in our point guard rotation. What do you think Patrick Beverley can do in LA now?
I think Patrick Beverley is what they've been needing the whole time. I think that's what the Clippers have needed the whole time. Is Patrick Beverley.
I feel it.
Because Patrick Beverley is what I call somebody that's going to get in your face. Patrick Beverley is what you call is going to get in your face and get it done, regardless. He don't care how you feel. He just made that point very obvious with Lonzo Ball. Got in that man's face and made his whole night miserable.
He did.
Man put that man on a cooker and made him cook. And didn't care that the man was a rookie. Didn't care what his daddy had said or nothing. Just lace these shoes up. Let's go play some basketball real quick. And that's what I like about that's what the Clippers need. Even though I'm a diehard Laker fan, shout out to Lakers, shout out to the Dodgers for winning the World Series tonight. But even though I'm a diehard, I love me some Magic Johnson. I love it. But what Patrick Beverley did to Lonzo Ball, that's showing me that that's what he's going to bring the whole season, and that's what the Clippers need. They need that person who's serious, gonna get up in your face, gonna make you pressure the ball, gonna do all of that.
I feel it. That's real. That's really real. And one thing I can say about Patrick Beverley, he's always been a hard-nosed type of defender. Look at how he did Russell Westbrook last year, and if you just look at how he plays other point guards in general, it doesn't matter if it's the top point guard or the last point guard. You all getting a dog type of player in Patrick Beverley. So I liked it a lot in him. So we were just talking about the Clippers. And we were also talking about how Chris Paul needed certain things. So it's not Chris Paul's team anymore. Chris Paul's in Houston. So now it's Blake Griffin's team. And they're trying to build around Blake. Blake got a good contract, be it that Chris left. He signed a nice contract. I think it was a steal. But what do you think, or who do you see being a co-star to Blake right now, besides DeAndre, as far as guards? What guard do you think have the best play?
Well, Blake, I have a thing for Blake. I'm not a sexual thing, but I feel that Blake is really a bust. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really honestly feel that Blake is a bust. Cause all this man can do is dunk, and possibly he add a 3-point game to his shot. That's cool, and he could probably get some rebounds. But I really think that what Blake said, the Blake that was in Oklahoma, we have not met that Blake still. And Blake's been playing in the game for how many years now? I think going on 5.
It's 8th season.
8th season.
7th or 8th season.
7th or 8th season, and we still haven't seen that Blake.
It's 8th season
from Oklahoma. So I feel like he's really a bust. I feel like they had to give him that money, or he was gonna walk.
All right. So being that he has that money though, who can help Blake now? He has DeAndre, so who else can help them two? When Lob City was Chris Paul, DeAndre,
and Blake Griffin. So now that Lob City
It really
has been
wasn't Lob
decent.
City. It was just really Chris Paul and DeAndre because Blake was hurt.
Oh yeah. Well now that it was still. I mean, he could throw it to either one, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
trying
but he
to
was
say.
really throwing it to DeAndre. Take it right there. It was never really Blake because Blake was mostly hurt, like you had mentioned earlier. That Blake was mostly hurt every time Chris Paul was in healthy or even in a healthy way to compete.
So who
Blake
can
was
help
always
Chris now?
hurt.
Who do you think can help Chris?
I really think that who can really
Not Chris, but who can
who
help
can
Blake?
really help Blake is Patrick Beverly. And how Patrick Beverly did Lonzo, I really feel like he could help.
So from a defensive standpoint, you
Yes.
think he's gonna help him
Yes.
from a defensive standpoint?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. And we shall come back to more on this subject. We have to take a break and talk to our sponsors. But you will hear more from us. See you when we see ya.
Yeah, and we back. So I'm here with Miss Asia, and we've been talking about some good basketball on this Wednesday.
We just discussed it right now.
We bring it back. We're gonna come on here, y'all. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about our last couple of games that we have. We have the Citizens and Thunder coming up, and then we're gonna also go through a quick little Ricky report to wrap the show up. So Miss Asia, we have coming up on Friday, November the 3rd at 8:30 p.m. We got the Clippers, not the Clippers, but we got the Citizens and Thunder. Talk to me about it. Give me something. Just spit some stuff for me. How
Well,
you feel
Triple
about
Double Man is going to be live in effect again.
it? Okay.
So,
We talking about Russell.
yeah, so if you see this post, that means he
Uncle
scored a
Russ.
Triple Double on your team. That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay. Uncle Russ. Okay, what else you got for me? They got Melo now.
Y'all, you know the hoodie. I think Melo going to play in the hoodie tonight, y'all.
That hoodie gas that they have.
I think Melo gonna play in the hoodie tonight, y'all. Even though Stephen A got a problem with the hoodie, I think Melo gonna play in the hoodie tonight. I mean, not tonight. I mean on Friday. I feel like Melo gonna come out there with the hoodie on and just start balling because hoodie Melo got some skills.
Hoodie Melo does have some skills.
Hoodie Melo got some skills. I never thought that I would see Melo from the how would I say it? I never thought I would see Melo from
With the braids?
the Denver Nuggets.
With the braids.
I never thought I'd see. I never thought I'd
young
see
Melo, though.
young
He
Melo.
old young.
But when I saw him put that hoodie on, I said, "That's young Melo right there with the braid."
So do you think? And don't forget about Melo. That we on OKC. They got it's Melo, Westbrook, and PG.
PG 13.
And I know you from California, and I love
PG.
California. Shout out to California. PG coming from LA, so it's Paul George.
He was supposed to be a
from
Laker, to
Cali.
be honest.
Yeah.
But, we're not gonna talk about that because at the time Lakers are going through stuff right now. But shout out to the Dodgers for winning the World Series tonight. Shout out to the Dodgers.
I just looking for a good game. But how you feel about them three playing together in OKC?
I feel like that's gonna work. That tandem works for me. That tandem works
Why?
because Russell Westbrook, he does the triple double thing. If you see this, he scored triple double on your team. He does that, but then Hoodie and PG do their own little thing. They not trying to take from what Melo do. Because like Melo said, we came here for you because we believe in your greatness and your talent, what you can do. So we here to help you. And I really believe that's what they're doing. They're really there to help. They're really there to help him because he got the talent.
He does.
He might have had a fake friend, Kevin Durant, who's very fake. He might have a fake friend because his friend left him because his friend didn't want to deal with personal issues. But I feel like Melo and PG are what you call ride or die. They gonna get it where they gonna get it how they live regardless. They gonna always get their numbers.
Understood.
And that same thing with Russell Wilson. Not Russell Wilson. Russell Westbrook. He always gonna get his numbers as well.
I agree with you on that. And one thing I like this trio. I like this trio just because they play different positions, but it's more so about Paul George and his flexibility. Russell Westbrook is going to be a point guard. He's going to handle the ball. You know that Melo is going to be on the block or somewhere on the three-point line shooting. But Paul George can play in between them. So you can have Paul George at the 2, the 3, the 4, and put Melo at the 5. And then you can just play, play street ball and just have have Russell Westbrook running down the court, running the gun, and he can kick it out to PG. PG and Melo both can shoot at a high rate and shoot at a high clip. So they can easily go for 20 plus a night, which they do. Melo's averaging 22 a game. You know what Russ does. You know what PG can do just from his time in Indiana. So I like those three together, and I hope that they can gel. I don't think that PG is going to stay in OKC, though.
I think PG will go to
if they have a good year, he will stay. If they have a good year, or if they at least make it to the Western Conference Finals, I think he'll give it another year. I think he's going to do 2 years max in OKC.
So we talking about rings and titles. I think that this team.
That's the only reason why Dwayne Wade went to Cleveland, because we talking about rings. That's it.
That was his best shot, and he was playing with his boy. You know, best friend, St. John class. He owe him that. Brian came.
They know. They played with each other before.
Man. He owe him
They
that.
played with each other before, and they won a ring.
Yes, I'm saying so. Brian came to Miami, so now Dwayne Wade's gonna go to Cleveland. I'm saying it's kind of like they give and take. You came and scratch my back. I'm gonna come and try to help you scratch you.
You don't think Cleveland gonna win it?
I don't. I don't think so. I don't think it's a team right now, a full team that can beat Golden State.
I agree with that.
There is just too many weapons. They're too tall. They play good defense.
Even though they're trying to give my man Draymond Green a bad rap, I totally agree.
So look, check this out. We can roll over to the Celtics now. Kyrie. He left Cleveland. He said he didn't want to be with LeBron anymore.
Why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't really like you?
That's real.
Why?
That's really real. And I don't know if you think he didn't like him. You think he didn't like Kyrie?
Yeah, I think it was all about that he didn't like him. I feel like at the end of the day, LeBron James is a dominant person. I don't know what his zodiac sign is, but he's a Capricorn. I got from my producer. He's a Capricorn, so he's very dominant. He likes things his way. So I feel like that Kyrie was not trying to do things his way. I feel like Kyrie was like, no, bro, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it my way because I was here. You left, and I came, and I helped. And now you want to take over the team and act like I don't want to do that.
That's real.
I don't want to do that. And I don't blame him because it's really, to be honest, you left. You went to Miami with your friends. And then when it didn't work out and they didn't do what you wanted to do, you came back and bullied these people to give you a job back. And you just want me to take that? Okay, yeah, we won a ring. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But just the fact that it's how you just bullied your way back here. You didn't do it the right way or like go through free agency. You were just like, I'm coming home.
He was a free agent.
He was a free agent, but like.
But they just made a big thing out of it.
They made a big thing, and Kyrie's like, this is the same man who left you and didn't tell you nothing. Gave you the deuces and walked out your office like it was cool.
That's real. So
but
look,
my bad,
I didn't cut you off.
But now, you know, it was I was finishing my comment. But now you want me to be friends with you? We got a ring, but I still don't like you.
So we I still don't like you. That's funny. But look, so he in Boston. Yeah. And Boston made a lot of big moves in the summertime in the trade in the free agency ring.
But Boston was wrong for trading Isaiah Thomas because when Isaiah Thomas went through that final season, they should have showed loyalty. And I agree. And I'm a big person on loyalty. I'm from Cali, so shout out Cali. We big on loyalty. And I believe that there's no loyalty. There was no loyalty in that situation.
So two things. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that loyalty. But with the Celtics. They made a lot of free agents moves in the summertime. They got Gordon Hayward, and they also got the rookie Jason Tatum from Duke.
Jason Tatum's nice, though.
He is nice.
He's nice. I think
Jason
Tatum might be my rookie, and Jason Tatum might be my rookies of the year, who might win Rookie of the Year award. But we need to watch out for Ben Simmons because this man ain't playing basketball. I don't know what he's playing. He might be playing moonball because I don't know what he's playing because this is beyond basketball for Ben Simmons. We can get to that later, but. Yeah, I agree. Jason Tatum is dope. He's a beast. He's another person that I liked for the Lakers to pick, but Magic was so overall in the Lonzo Ball lifestyle that he didn't do that.
So they got them three. They have those three. What do you think?
Well, they don't really have Gordon Hayward because Gordon Hayward's out for that nasty broken foot injury, so he'll be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, more so, but they have those three, and they've acquired those pieces. Do you think they are title contenders in the East? Yes. All right, I got you.
Hands down, because Kyrie's coming for the jugular. Kyrie coming for the jugular. It's like his LeBron. It's like how when Kobe and Shaq played each other and they was beefing, but then when Kobe played Shaq in the finals, it was real. That's all it is.
That's what's up. I feel it. And then you also, speaking of Jason Tatum, we got a couple of rookies that are doing good. Jason Tatum is doing great, as we just spoke of. Also, you got to think about De'Aaron Fox out of Kentucky.
Yes, I love that,
and we talk about somebody who lit up Lonzo Ball. He lit Lonzo up in the tournament. He
lit him up, put him on a barbecue spit, and put him on a skewer and let him just Rambo his ass.
And De'Aaron is averaging 12 points a game right now, and also averaging 5 assists. You also have Dennis Smith Jr., which is a point guard out of NC State, who's doing really well right now. He's averaging about 13 points and 6 assists. So we got a lot of good rookies that's doing good. It's a lot of good basketball being played.
It is. It's very interesting. There's a lot of good basketball being played right now.
A lot
I'm
of
so
good
ready for the
basketball.
season to start. I'm not looking for the Lakers to be honest, because I already know what's gonna happen with that. So I'm not
Yeah.
really looking for
That's
that.
real. Well, that's gonna wrap up our show for today, y'all. We just had a good basketball segment. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll talk to y'all Friday. We're gonna have some good football coming to you.
We sure
This
are.
has been BFTS, Best Friends Talking Sports. It could be the best freaking talk show ever. Shout out to our producers and everybody that helped us
Shout out to
record the
them.
show. And we're gonna see y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.